It is budget day. We are less than a couple hours until we get to all publicly see what is in the 2024 Ontario budget, what the PC government under Premier Ford has set as its priorities. We've heard a little bit that's been teased already that I'll be getting into in just a little bit with my guest who joins me right now. We're getting our first local. This is a pre-action to the budget. Joining me is the Member of Provincial Parliament for Essex, Anthony Leardi. How are you doing today?
Great, John. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for joining me. So, absent, you knowing a bunch of things about the budget that haven't been shared publicly yet, and I know that stuff like that can't be discussed, we can talk about what we've already heard, which is that our Minister of Finance and the Premier have already announced that affordability measure yesterday, the day before the budget was announced, with a 5.7 cent per litre cut to the provincial gas tax being extended until the end of this year. It was set to expire on the 31st of June. So happy Canada Day, I suppose, from the province of Ontario. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, that's a great place to start, John, because I can tell you everywhere in the Riding of Essex that I go, whether it's in Amherstburg or Kingsville or LaSalle or Bell River, people are telling me the same thing everywhere. The carbon tax is just killing them. It's taking money out of their pockets, and they can't afford the carbon tax, especially when it comes to home heating. If you take a look at your home heating bill, you'll see that 28 or 29% of your bill is carbon tax, and that's just hurting people. So we have, of course, as a caucus, we've asked the Premier, we've asked the Finance Minister, we need tax relief in the province of Ontario, and of course they've delivered. We are cutting the gas tax, not just by that 5% that you mentioned, but by the total 10 cents per litre. We're extending that tax cut, and that's going to be a huge help to people who have to drive. And of course, as you know, John, most people in our area have to drive to get to work, to get to the soccer field, to get to the arena. And so that's going to be a big help for people.
And we can expect that with the new interchange as well. We're going to be seeing more people on the roads in the next coming years.
Well, that's just a fact of life in our area, right? We don't have rapid transit, public transit. We don't have the GO train. We don't have that kind of thing in our area. We rely on our cars. We rely on our trucks. And so when we have a gas tax cut, that helps us in our area, and that's a big help at the end of the day to families in Essex County.
Now, we also know that there has been an announced $1.6 billion more to help municipalities build key infrastructure to help support new home construction. This could go towards roads and water lines and infrastructure of the like. This government has obviously been signaling the intention of building a lot more homes. However, at this point, not quite at the targets that would allow them to have met from what the federal government was going to be providing in some relief. So I wonder about, that disparity, but you're also broadly like what the government is working towards.
Well, we're working towards providing some funding for infrastructure so that our home builders can actually build the homes that people want. The problem is we don't have enough supply. The lack of supply is driving up prices. And the reason why we don't have enough supply, or part of the reason at least, is because we don't have enough infrastructure like water treatment plants, water lines, sewer lines, and the like. Now, you know what? Our goal is not to build hundreds of homes. Our goal is to build 1.5 million homes over the next 10 years. That's a big goal, and we want to help our home builders get there. We want to restore the dream of home ownership to all of the young people in the province of Ontario. And part of the reason I think we need to get this infrastructure in the ground is so that we can get homes built, because that's another thing that's very important. And what I've heard in my riding, certainly almost every single day, is the affordability of homes and whether we're going to have enough homes for the people who want them. So we need to build those homes. And for homes, we need infrastructure.
And keeping with this theme of, the infrastructure of roads specifically, it seems like there's a theme in this budget, quite frankly. We've also heard of some changes to auto insurance announced, and the proposals that we're hearing are that it's going to allow for consumers to increase what the industry calls optionality for their plans, allowing drivers more leeway to pick and choose their coverage plan, according to one source here in a CBC story. So clearly, it seems like this affordability theme, especially as it relates to, being in a vehicle and driving around, is a big theme here.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You've hit the nail right on the head. Again, in our region, in our area, we rely on our cars. We rely on our trucks. And driving is not optional for us. Driving is a necessity. So anything we can do to increase options for drivers is a good thing. I'll be looking at the budget to see if that does include some what you called optionality, which will help people choose the plan that's right for them. If that's in the budget, that'll be a good thing. And there's one more thing I want to mention before we get away.
Please.
One of the great themes of this country, this government, is our investment in infrastructure. I was mentioning water infrastructure a moment ago, but we have to talk about road infrastructure as well. Don't forget that we're already widening Highway 3 from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, all the way from the town of Kingsville to the town of Essex. That's going to increase the safety of that road, but as well, you got to remember there's at least 1,500 trucks that leave the Kingsville-Leamington area every single day. They're bringing products across Essex County and to the border to markets in the United States. We all know in our region how important our relationship is, our economic relationship with the United States. And so this is also going to help bolster our region as a continuing economic powerhouse. I'm so happy that we're actually delivering on the expansion of Highway 3 from 2 to 4 lanes. It's very important.
Absolutely. And one last thing as well that I should note, we also heard yesterday from hospital president and CEO David Muji that construction is set to begin for the new mega hospital in 2026. Your reaction on that?
More great news. Again, we'll all remember that another government made that promise and never delivered. But Doug Ford said he went in there like an 800-pound gorilla and was going to get that done, and he did it for us, and we're so grateful.
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me. I know that it's a really hectic day, especially being budget day, so I'll let you get back to it all.
All right. Thanks, John. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you so much. That is the Member of Provincial Parliament for Essex, Anthony Leardi, providing us our first pre-action to the 2024 Ontario budget.